Thank you very much for holding this hearing. The impact of international cartels on my home state, particularly the tribes in my district, is immeasurable. We're witnessing a distressing surge in addiction and crime reaching unprecedented levels in the Treasure State. I want to acknowledge President Stiffarm and Mr. Kirk for making this long journey here to our nation's capital to share their insights and firsthand experiences regarding this alarming trend. The escalation of addiction, crime, and the loss of lives in recent years is intolerable. And I hope that this hearing will light a fire under our federal agencies to take meaningful action against the cartels which continue to inflict harm in our state and in our reservations. Moreover, I hope this hearing will be a wake-up call to my colleagues across the aisle, helping them to recognize the unconscionable effects of President Biden's open border policies. These policies have clearly not only impacted border communities, but are felt across the entire nation. President Stiffarm, it's great to see you again, and thank you very much for attending. And Mr. Kirk, congratulations on 12 years of sobriety. Very proud of you. President Stiffarm, can you provide your insights into the number of drug-related incidents your officers and federal agencies encountered in Fort Belknap in 2023?
Thank you for the question. And I don't have the exact numbers in front of me, but these officers, they encounter them pretty much on a daily basis. And the remoteness of our reservation and the access to get into the remote areas is pretty easy for these cartels to come through. There's back roads from the Rocky Boy Reservation to Fort Belknap, and that's one of the routes they take. And that's why I'm so disappointed in the FBI and the Border Patrol for not assisting the tribes and trying to combat this drug issues that we have, and more importantly, one of the issues that we really address is we don't have criminal jurisdiction over any of these people that bring in these drugs, over non-members, even cartel members. We don't have a criminal jurisdiction over them, so our hands are tied if we do catch any of these people, and if we do, and we call for the Border Patrol or the FBI, officers have to sit there probably a few hours for them to get on scene to even do anything. So the cartel knows this. That's why they come here. That's why they come to our homes.
If you don't have those numbers, do you have any kind of estimate on what type of increase that you have seen on this type of activity over the last couple, 3 years?
Well, the increase is mostly in fentanyl. And we had methamphetamine there for quite a while, and then they're bringing in fentanyl, which is a lot more easier and a lot more expensive. Like Councilman Kirk said, down in the southern border, it's pennies on a dollar, but you get up into Montana, it's $100 a pill sometimes, for these people to get. But they bring it in for the money. They bring it in because they can hide in. They blend in easily. So they bring in a lot of that fentanyl. We almost had an overdose on an employee right on a work site. So they're bringing it into our staff, and they normally, if you're not a user and they want you to be a user, they'll spike your drink with it and get you hooked that way also.
So recently, a Lodgegrass woman was sentenced to 24 years in prison for intent to distribute meth and conspiracy to commit money laundering involving activities in both the Crow Reservation and Fort Belknap, among other areas. What steps is the tribe taking to prevent tribal members from being exploited by these dangerous cartels for the drug trafficking operations?
Well, we didn't really have any opportunity to take really any steps because of the lack of funding. We're trying to just enforce it and prevent it. The only steps that we probably have is, we have the CDC, which is always underfunded. The social services program is always underfunded. It's basically the lack of funding that's preventing us from doing anything in our Indian country, and our law enforcement is a 638 contract with the BIA, and we took that over in 1997, and the base funding is $1.2 million. 2023, our base funding is $1.3 million, increased $100,000 in 20 plus years.
I will squeeze one more question in, President Stiffarm, before I lose my time. Do you believe the FBI is adequately prioritizing efforts to prevent and prosecute such illicit activities on our reservations and the surrounding areas?
No, they don't.
Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Chair. I yield back, and again, thank you so much for attending.